Ladies and gentlemen, in the next fight of the evening, please welcome, in the blue corner, Steve Sampaio.
Steve Sampaio fighting out of Brampton, not too far down the road from Dog Pound MMA. His last fight is a win via submission. 1-0 as a professional, 3-2 with 3 submission victories as an amateur. He's going to challenge Gino Ghalehpardaz, and this fight connects to the one we just saw, because the winner of this could be the next man to take on Anton Potosky.
I love a guy walking out to this song. It's just so right. Yeah, dangerous dude, you know, and Gino's the guy with the big reputation, and Steve's like, yeah, man, I'll fight this kid. I can handle him. We shall see.
Sampaio, at 29 years old, has 15 years experience training in mixed martial arts. It goes a long way.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
And you're right, Robin. Yeah. This song is just perfect.
It's just perfect.
I was sad that it ever went away.
It's wrong, but so right.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
His lone win as a professional for Steve Sampaio came against Dylan Lacroix. It took just 2 minutes and 18 seconds in September of 2022. So he's riding a high right now, Robin. If he can run his record to 2-0 against a very tough Gino Ghalehpardaz, that sets him in a launch position.
Yes, it does. And that's why you take these tough fights. And we've talked about it in Prospect before. And this is the modern thing. You have to take tough fights. If you become 9-0 against easy fights, somebody who's 7-2 in tough fights is going to beat you.
That's a great, great point. And of course, we know in Ontario, they don't allow for easy fights. The commission makes sure that all of these fights are well matched. And Alex Caparici, as you said earlier, there's no one better to make sure of that on the Prospect Fighting Championship end.
Oh, I'm ready for this. Cal Samrat Gym.
How about it? Flyweight action as the heel
corner,
comes up
Gino
next.
Ghalehpardaz.
And Gino, like a great pro wrestler, embraces that nickname of the heel. He wants to be the bad guy.
He's a character. I didn't know that was his shtick when I went to talk to him the first time he fought and won. And I was like, okay, I like him. Yeah. Hey, listen, fighting, the actual physical part of the fighting is an expression of individuality. What you wear, how you walk, what you say, that's all part of you've earned the chance to express yourself. This is why after you win a fight, you can and are encouraged to do whatever you want. That's your time. You earned it. And if he wants to be a heel, let the kid be a heel, man. He enjoys it.
And check out who's in his corner. Gino Ghalehpardaz has moved over to Vision Quest MMA. And you might say, I don't know that camp all that well. Well, you should, because it's the one that's run by the gentleman Josh Hill.
Yeah, Josh knows. Josh is still actively fighting. He got a win in Bellator not that many weeks ago. And he's still performing at a very high level, but he's also highly intelligent. He's studied combat psychology, sports performance psychology, and he's a very skilled guy, and he's a good dude. You know, he's a great, and mellow, too. The type, if you respond well to a nice, even-keeled coach, Josh is your man that way, too.
And by the way, his great uncle was formerly one half of the WWF Tag Team Champions, the Valiant Brothers.
Yeah, he was a gentleman, right?
That's the guy.
That's right.
Gentleman Jerry Valiant.
Yeah.
Gino Ghalehpardaz steps in 3-1 as a pro, a submission to his credit, 3-1 as an amateur. I did a lot of those fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is brought to you by Proper 12 Irish Whiskey. It is in the PFC flyweight division. Will be contested over 3 5-minute rounds, and the man in charge of the action when it starts is Mr. Ivan Svek. And now introducing first in the blue corner, fighting out of Brampton, Ontario, representing Dog Pound MMA. He stands 5'6". He weighed in at 130.8 pounds, has an unblemished professional record of 1 win, no losses, with his 1 win coming by way of submission. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Steve Sampaio. And his opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Binbrook, Ontario, representing Vision Quest MMA. He stands 5'8". He weighed in at 128.6 pounds, has a professional record of 3 wins, 1 loss, with 1 win coming by way of submission. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Gino, the heel Gino Ghalehpardaz.
Is there anyone better than Keith Crawford?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
We get set at flyweight, potentially to match up against Anton Potocki moving forward, and this almost working out like a tournament on the undercard.
Yeah, it writes itself, right?
Gino Ghalehpardaz, and we should mention, Robin, the strands that run together. Vision Quest MMA very close to Aegis MMA as Sampaio comes out early.
Yes, and
swinging for the fences.
so on a low kick, the rear hand counter is often there, and Steve saw that low kick coming and ripped out a left hand.
Well,
but Gino's on the back now, and he's trying to lace that leg.
and I'll just quickly finish that thought. Lyndon Whitlock at Aegis, still the coach for Josh Hill at Vision Quest. They both came from originally House of Champions under Cruel Lynn, so it's a long history that Gino Ghalehpardaz is now a part of.
Man, Steve Sampaio knows exactly what he's doing. Every response that he's making is a trained response. There's no reacting. Reacting is something you just do. Responding is something that you do that you've prepared. So it's a trained response, and every response he's making here has been trained and drilled into his gray matter.
Steve is showing incredible balance here as well.
He's going to attack this neck for real, yes, and he did. You know, you just saw him calmly coming up and getting a better angle on that neck. Now he's got something. He's going to try. No.
Almost a front chancery is.
So Gino was fully aware that that was real and dangerous, and he did a wonderful job dropping and ending up on top. He dropped his whole sternum straight down to the ground and flowed his way into the top. That was really nice from both dudes.
Ghalehpardaz, like an alligator in distress, rolled his way out and winds up with the advantage.
That's a big positional win, going from you are now fighting for consciousness with somebody attacking your neck to you're on top and cross side. And we were talking about response versus reaction. All of that was very responsive from Gino. That was all trained. That was a trained sequence.
Elbows to the side of the head from Gino. That forces, again, the response from Sampaio. He's going to try to wall walk his way to reverse.
Yeah, or he's going to try a buggy choke maybe. There are a number of modified chokes people do from underneath here. Now armbar, so he's going to attack the right arm. No, he's buggy choke. He is buggy choking.
What a job by Sampaio to get that buggy choke.
So there are different modifications. You see the spine is cranking. See the spine crank?
Oh, this is a nasty-looking position.
Over. Yeah, so now it's kind of an inverted choke. Now it's just a choke on the neck only. There's no arms, so it's not a real triangle, but it is still a threat.
And Gino now has it around the forehead as he tries to slide out, and does.
That was really – these are two very, very skilled guys. I'm sure Gino and his team knew what they were in for here, that you're facing a guy who only has one professional fight and one professional win. But I don't know if they realize just how good Steve Sampaio is. He's a very skilled guy, too.
Robin, you and I have done a lot of fights together at this point. This is the first time we've done a buggy choke in a fight together. That was outstanding work. And, again, Gino, he is slick in his submission defense.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's known exactly what he was doing. In both times he was being attacked, not only did he get out, so you called it defense. That is accurate, but it was beyond that because he ended up in a better position, in the top position, both times he was attacked with a submission. He ended up on top.
And again, that goes back to the theory of response that you were talking about. He's prepared for that, and he knew when he got into that scramble position how to come out with the top position.
Yeah, and that's coaching, and that's that's modern fighting. Don't just stop the threat. Use the position of the threat and flow your way into a better position. That's so modern. It's so cool.
Just over a minute left in what has been an exciting first round.
Really
as
cool.
Gino Ghalehpardaz trying to get loose and posture up for strikes.
We talked about that with Anton, getting resistance. Somebody who was going to you're going to lose some exchanges, some small positional exchanges. That's been the case for both guys here. Both guys have won certain exchanges.
Coming into this fight, both Steve and Gino thought their opponent was going to try to take them down and wrestle, and we've seen that to the next level in this one as Steve looks for the knee bar.
Yeah, but Gino used that threat again to now get to the top position.
Oh, nasty elbow across the bridge of the nose. The left hand loose for Gino, mixing up the strikes to the side of the head with the elbow coming straight down.
I'm trying to see what's going on with Sampaio's legs, how they are currently tangled, because Gino put him into a spot where he can't actually get out right now. See his left leg? There. So Gino had like a modified 50-50. That was really cool.
I think a really cool round overall, Robin. We have seen high-level work by these two through the first 5 minutes, and I don't think I want to be a judge.
Yeah, or a fighter for that matter these days. When you see and you got to be so real and so focused and so skillful now when you're facing 1-0 guys like Steve Sampaio, and you see how good he is, you see how good he is everywhere, how complex his game is. But that Gino won the key exchanges there. 3 times he was threatened with a submission, and 3 times he ended up on the top position. The 3rd time off the knee bar, doing the most damage of the round.
And Robin, how difficult is that? Because, again, going back to what you were talking about in the theory of response earlier on in the first round, to not just defend, to not just react, but to respond and come out ahead. How hard is that to do in live action like this?
A great question. You train your body to behave the way you want it to behave without conscious thought. That's how this happens. There was no conscious thought. At least Gino would have observed himself do all of that, expressing the training that he has done through hundreds or more likely thousands of repetitions to win those positions.
Sampaio coming out with a high kick.
So Sampaio went to orthodox for a moment. This is where he was earlier, southpaw versus southpaw, and it was the rear left hook that he landed early on Gino.
He almost found a home for that left again.
Yeah.
Tries it upstairs. Gino's able to back out.
He's different, man. Gino moves a little different, too. His timing and his rhythm is a little different. What Gino's got going for him right now, too, is Sampaio is thinking about Gino's full game. And, there's his left hand.
Left hand lands twice.
Yeah, he throws them hard, but he's not biting down. So they're hard, they're expressed, they flow out of him hard. See, he's not gritting his teeth. He's just snapping them out there.
I remember back in the days of Gino's amateur career, and we see him, the way he throws his strikes from, he comes from different angles.
Yeah.
He switches up while he's working his way forward. I remember talking to guys like Sam Stout and Mark Hominick about him, and they said it's so hard to fight Gino and train with Gino because you don't know what he's going to do.
He threw a high kick, side kick, and then a lead punch. Now he's changing his own rhythm, and he's all about complexity. But you see simplicity in what Steve is doing, and the way you beat simplicity sometimes is with complexity, and vice versa. The way you beat Gino is with advanced fundamentals. And that's exactly what we're seeing.
The right hand landed that time. Sampaio, who had found a home for the left, switched it up. That forced Gino into the shot.
So Sampaio rushed to that choke. And now Gino has a single leg, a high single leg.
Put Steve right in front of us. Gino rolling through, and he'll come out on top again.
Oh, he's got him.
Oh, he got him.
He's got him.
Wow. Steve Sampaio.
I love this guy.
Oh, my goodness gracious. What a finish.
Yeah, I don't know who said what over in that corner, but Sam Sampaio just flipped off that entire team. Something they said or did either during the fight or in advance of it. He was like, by the way, I just beat your dude.
Wow.
I like this guy.
Robin, that was tremendous. We'd seen 3 times in the first round Gino get into scrambles and roll his way to top position. That time, just as I thought he was about to do the same, Steve cinched up and got him.
So we talked about response and versus reaction. Steve took the information he gained from that first time and applied it to the whole sequence.
Robin
Really
Black
cool.
is going to head into the cage to talk to Steve Sampaio, who just might have become the most interesting man on Prospect Fighting 16 with that submission victory right there. What a performance. Steve Sampaio with a guillotine choke finish out of a scramble position. That was absolute brilliance as he gets the crowd going here inside the Rebel Complex. And we'll go back inside the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for these two athletes one more time. Referee Ivan Specs steps in at 1:58 of the second round for your winner due to guillotine choke and a tap out. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, Steve Sampaio.
Thanks for that fight, guys. Steve Sampaio. Dude, you can fight.
Thank you.
Yes, you can fight. And some, thanks, Gino. Some fighters are athletes, and some of them are artists, and then some people are just fighters, you know? And that looks like you. You're skilled like crazy, but when you fought your way through every weird position, man, you gotta feel awesome about this.
I feel good, man. I trained hard for this fight. I've been putting in work for 8 weeks. Like I said last time I won, I'm here to make my name. These guys are gonna know who I am in this division.
Yeah, they sure are. You gave the bird to his corner. Were they a little out of line?
No, I meant that for the people that are doubting me. A lot of people were saying he's got too many fights, he's this, he's that. We'll see.
Yeah, man. Two great performances. That's a high-level guy that you just came out here and finished off.
That's what we wanted. That's why we picked him. And I want his ranking. I want that rank. I know I missed weight. I just had a daughter. I just had a new baby. It was hard, you know. The baby's on me. No excuses. I should have made weight, but I want his ranking.
Hey, man, congratulations. I can't wait to see you fight. That was a pleasure. Steve Sampaio.
Steve Sampaio, an incredible performance here at Prospect Fighting Championship 16 out of a scramble position to pull off a guillotine choke submission victory after having trouble with those positions in the first two and the first round. In the second round, he's able to come up with the counter and finish the fight. Robert, he works his professional record to 2-0, and suddenly 2-0 Steve Sampaio, 2-0 Anton Petoskey.
Yeah, let's do this. Alex, you don't have to do any work on this one. That's already done. You see him holding his rib because he's hurt.
Yeah.
And he could care less. He's physically acknowledging it, but it's just like that's going to be part of fighting when you're a guy like this. That's a scary dude.
I can't believe the finish to that fight. It blew us both back. You were up out of your seat. The position looked like Gino was going to come out on top again, and Steve just found a way.
Yeah, some people just fighting is their you know, I don't want to say it comes natural because you must train. There is no skill development exists through training, right? And that's factually true. But some people just